Oh, good. A few more people are coming in. Hey, Susan. Yay. Hi, welcome. Hi. We have a drawing if you want to sign up in the back too. And yeah, for a book if you want to. You can just fill out your stuff and you can sit wherever you like. And we'll get started. Oh, somebody's joining us on Facebook Live. We're going to get started here, and they left. In just a little bit.
How was the concert? Good. Probably not pushing the button. It made you push it twice. Oh, yeah. And how do you know that you lift up the lid and you can see the clean in? Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Here comes somebody else.
Oh, good, man. Look at that. Everybody's coming in.
I know, but do you do yours at night in your room? Oh, maybe that's probably. Yeah, do you remember bottom of Greg's feet? No, I don't.
We were smelling all the new oils. It's pretty fun. We're excited about that. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for coming out. This is our Emotions and Essential Oils class, and we'll be following the tear pad that you guys all got too as we go along. But for those of you, oh, and just some housekeeping, bathrooms are down the hallway and to the left, and you won't hurt my feelings. This is very informal, so feel free. If you have to go to the bathroom, to please do that. And for those that are new to me, I'm Dr. Richey. I'm a certified women's health and functional nutrition coach and doctor of physical therapy. And I'll tell you guys a little bit at the end about my story and how I got into essential oils and into all of this, because it's kind of funny. I never thought that I would. I thought they were kind of hokey, kind of hippy-dippy, but on my journey I just started using them for a lot of different things. Actually, I came to essential oils to get out of physical pain and discomfort, and the emotional piece was kind of a bonus for me. It was just a fun way to use the essential oils and use them in my health coaching practice for clients, because I truly believe that any kind of issue that we're dealing with has a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual component with that. Oh, Andrew popped on. So we have a couple people on Facebook Live too, so it's kind of fun. We get to all interact. But I love the essential oils because I feel like they help with that piece. So anybody brand new to essential oils, never use them, everybody's kind of a little bit, kind of heard about them. It's like the new buzzword. Now like everybody has essential oils. I just heard Sensei has essential oils. So I was like, oh wow, they're like popping up out of the woodworks everywhere. So why, we should talk about why do we want to use essential oils first of all. So essential oils really are just aromatic compounds that are either steam distilled or press distilled, and they're from the plant. So the different parts of the plant, from the seeds, from the roots, from the leaves, from the stems, all different areas of the plant. And the nice thing is that they're natural, and they're the plant's protective mechanism to protect them from bugs or different insects, things like that. And we can use them to support our bodies too, which is cool. And it's nice because like when we're talking about essential oils for emotions or for mood management, prescription antidepressants, for example, could require a lot of medications, additional medications, because we've got side effects. So we may be taking something for one thing, and then we have side effects related to that, and then we're taking another thing, and it just kind of builds. And the cool thing is essential oils don't really cause side effects, which is kind of nice. And they can save money and time, because essential oils, it's like pennies per drop. And like in an example, in a bottle like this size, in a 15 ml bottle, there's 250 drops in here. This is going to last you a really, really, really long time, which is nice. And we can use them for many different purposes. So we're going to talk about emotional support, but you could use them for pain, for to get more energy, to just kind of support you for immune support, a bunch of different ways. And the cool thing is that our brain and aroma kind of work together with this emotional response. And when you inhale something, those compounds from the essential oils travel to the olfactory bulb in our brain. And the cool thing is that this stimulates a bunch of brain chemicals. So for example, if you smell lavender, lavender can help with serotonin which can help to relax the mind and the body, which is kind of neat that it can do that. And the olfactory bulb, it's that little, in your handouts, that little area in red that you can kind of see. And this is the only place in the body where the central nervous system is directly exposed to the environment, which is really cool. So our brain is designed to use aroma to soothe and protect itself. So our brain is linked, like when you smell aroma, it's directly linked to that limbic system in the brain where we remember memories. And this is why you may smell something and it may remind you of your grandmother cooking and bring back memories for you. So it's very neat that it can trigger that and create that memory response and help us emotionally with all of that, which is really neat. So, and I feel like the way to really experience the essential oils is to smell them for yourself. So what we can do is I'll pass around a bottle of peppermint and a bottle of wild orange so you can try it. And they come out a little fast, so there's two ways that you can do it. You can put it in your hand and put a drop, or you can just put your hand over the bottle like this and just flip it over, and you can get it on there that way too, so you don't get too much. We'll do a drop of peppermint and a drop of wild orange. You can put a drop in your hand. You want to rub it together. And if you're new to essential oils, maybe hold your hand back a little bit because it can be a little bit strong, but you can smell it. You can cup your hands over your mouth and your nose, and you can just inhale it. You can put it on the back of your neck and on your shoulders. Peppermint for some people is a little bit sensitive, so if you are sensitive, I have a little bit of fractionated coconut oil in this little bottle, and I can pass that around for you guys too. And if you're watching from home, you can get your oils out and smell them with us as we go through all of these things too. Or you can just pour it out. If you pour it out, just be careful because sometimes a lot can come out and people are like,
them, right?
yeah, we're going to do a drop of each, yeah. So peppermint and wild orange is really nice because it's very energizing, it's very uplifting. That's what we actually have diffusing here in this diffuser is peppermint and wild orange. So if you get that 2 to 4 p.m. slump in the middle of the afternoon, it's really nice to just have that, and especially when we're reaching for sugar or coffee or caffeine or something, we can use our oils to help us with that, and then they're supporting us in other ways too. And the cool thing is there's a lot of clinical research that's been done on essential oils. So, and we'll go through all the oils too, but I wanted to tell you guys about this research because it's pretty interesting. So ylang ylang can help to decrease blood pressure, and subjects have reported being calmer and more relaxed in the control group. Lemon has some anti-anxiety, antidepressant-like effects, and so does clary sage when used aromatically. So we can use our oils to help us with that. Chamomile can help support focus in teenagers, which is a nice thing too. So if you have kiddos that have a little bit of struggle with focus in school or with things, you could use essential oils to help them too, which is really nice. Oh, thank you. And that can be a nice benefit too to use. Melissa can help to reduce stress without slowing your activity level. So, you know, we may need some support in that area, but we don't want to be a zombie. Oh, yeah. Does somebody have a question? I'm sorry.
I was going to ask you, on the chamomile, don't they also have an oil that's called Focus?
Yeah, or Intune.
Intune, okay. So is it better to buy the chamomile and use that, or the blend?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, I actually didn't bring, oh yes I did. Haha, I have Intune.
And it's called
Intune. So yeah, I'll pass this around and let you guys smell it. So Intune is the focus blend. And that's a good question. So everybody may respond a little bit differently to essential oils. Intune is a blend of several different oils. So when people are starting out, I usually recommend doing a blend because that's going to have several things for them and they can see if that helps them. But everybody's individualized, and so you may respond better to one oil than another oil. But for people that need help with focus, or they're just really like, really kind of riled up, this can be a game changer for them. I've seen Intune help just personally. A lot of friends, one friend in particular, her son was just really kind of struggling in school and struggling to focus, and Intune.
So if you were a teacher and you had a classroom of students that were not focused, they were disruptive, I wonder if you ran the diffuser with.
Yeah, you could do a couple drops of Intune in the diffuser, and that could be really helpful. It would be amazing. Be amazing to use oils to help support you in school. Absolutely. Yeah, so that could be a great one. wild orange, so we just put some wild orange on, and can you guys feel that's kind of tingly? It's kind of uplifting, and it stays on your hands, so you can just smell them throughout the day. But wild orange can help to decrease anxious feelings when in the dentist office. So they did research for this. So if you don't like going to the dentist, or you get a little like feelings of anxiousness as you start to go to the dentist office, you could put a little bit of wild orange in to help you, and that could be a nice thing to support you. Peppermint can really help with focus and mood. It's very energizing. So for example, I get scans every 6 months at MD Anderson Cancer Center, and I'm in there. They do a MRI of my abdomen and my pelvis, and I'm in there for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and that's a long time in a teeny tiny, really noisy tube. And Balance is the grounding blend, and I have asked them, can I put a scarf on and wear it, because it doesn't have any metal or anything, and they'll let me put a scarf, and I'll put my oils on my scarf, and I'll just be in there. It's like having a little diffuser, and I can smell my oils, and it just calms me down, because I don't want to be knocked out. I don't need more medication to completely knock me out for that 2 hours and then be groggy and have to detox off of all of that. So it's a nice option too, to just use your oils to support you when you need them, which is a nice option. And we'll talk about specific oils for mood too. We'll kind of go through these, and I'll let you guys smell these. So lavender can help to ease any sadness, to kind of soothe any anxious feelings. It can help with sleep, getting restful sleep. So this could be a really great oil to use. doTERRA's lavender is sourced from France, and that's one of the things that really sets doTERRA apart is, and I'll pass this around too. I should have done this so you guys can smell the difference. Because honestly, when I came to essential oils, I started with the stuff from the health food store, and I was like, these aren't working. Essential oils don't work. Like, I tried them, they're not working. Well, then I found Susan. Susan's in the back there. She introduced me to essential oils. Susan's a registered nurse, and she talked about doTERRA, and I smelled this. And this will be good since you guys just smelled that. You can smell the Now brand and compare, because one, oh, thank you so much. One smells like doTERRA's lavender. I don't know, that really smells like lavender. And maybe we could even push this around if you want to compare them side to side. And one smells very synthetic, and it just doesn't smell like lavender. And I think it's a really good comparison, because if you don't know, you don't know. And if you're just smelling the Now oils, you're like, oh, lavender. But when you smell them side to side, like one smells really like, I'm like, ugh, that doesn't smell good. And they're supposed to be the same thing. So interesting concept. There is no governing agency in the United States that regulates the purity of essential oils, similar to like supplements. And I've read that even if it's, it just has to be 10% oil to put 100% natural, whatever, you know, organic, whatever they want to write on the essential oil bottle, because nobody's regulating this stuff. So it's very similar to like if you go to the grocery store and it says 100% apple juice, and then you flip it over and it says 5% apple, like whatever. That's what they're doing. So as consumers, we have to be really diligent in, thank you, she's like my Vanna, really diligent in researching and knowing, and everything from where the plants were grown, what time they were harvested, the soil, the weather, really makes up the effectiveness of the oils. So what we're talking about in this class is really doTERRA's oils. It's the one that I know and trust and did a lot of research, and they come from their indigenous regions. So like we talked about, lavender comes from France, because that's gonna affect the chemical and molecular compound of the oil. And so when we're talking about using oils for therapeutic uses or medicinal uses, it makes a difference with this. And I saved these bottles so people could smell them, and I'll do that with some of these. I brought a few so you can just smell them side by side, because it is very, very different with all of this. So that was lavender. Frankincense, a lot of people know frankincense. It's known as the baby Jesus oil, right? We know that frankincense and myrrh were given to the Christ child, and it's really an amazing gift when, like, pure frankincense. Unfortunately, I don't have a bottle of the Now frankincense. I probably should. I smelled it in the store. It made me gag. I was like, this is not the frankincense that I know and love from doTERRA. So doTERRA's frankincense is sourced from Oman. It's very great at promoting relaxation, thank you, and easing sadness. It's very grounding. It's used a lot in religious practices, because emotionally it can help with that connection to the divine. So a lot of people use it in their prayer time or meditation time or yoga to help with that connection. It's an enhancer oil, which means that you can use it and layer it with any of the other oils to enhance whatever it is that you're trying to do. So the joke is, when in doubt, pull frankincense out. However, now doTERRA just came out with a new oil called spikenard. It's also been referenced in the Bible as well, and so we have spikenard. I have it if you guys want to smell it later. It smells a little interesting, but so now we're saying when in doubt, pull frankincense or spikenard out. They have a similar chemical composition, so it's kind of neat to have a new frankincense there. Orange, you guys smelled wild orange, but we'll pass it around again and we'll let you do a side-by-side comparison to the other orange, so you guys can just smell. It's interesting, like one just smells
different.
yeah, yucky. So orange can really help to soothe anxiousness, any anxious feelings that you're having. It can help to soothe any sadness. It can help to boost energy. And this is the cool thing about wild orange, is depending on what you want to use it, it can be energizing or calming. So if we combine it with peppermint, it can be really uplifting and energizing. You combine wild orange with lavender, and it can be very calming. So here we have peppermint and wild orange in the diffuser to kind of help us stay focused and wake up and feel good at the end of the day. But at night, I often diffuse lavender, cedarwood, and wild orange together to be very calming. So that's a good option. And I'll let you do a side-by-side comparison with our peppermint here.
It's to compare the orange.
I'll say orange, sorry.
doTERRA's peppermint is actually sourced in the United States from Washington State. So some of the oils are in the United States, but it's a global network there. And peppermint can really help to boost your energy. It can help to clear the mind. It's very invigorating. It's amazing for headaches. You can apply it over the head or the neck. So this is a really helpful thing. Ooh, we'll do a magical exchange here. There we go. Teamwork. So peppermint can be really, really great for a lot of things. Can help if you have like an upset tummy. You can put that on your tummy or take a drop internally to help soothe that.
It works on your dogs really well.
Oh, we have a testimonial that it works really well on your dogs.
Peppermint on Sassy quite a bit.
Oh, does she like the peppermint?
Yeah.
Do you just rub it on her fur?
Well, you dilute it down, it's way down. It's like a tablespoon almost to 1 or 2 drops, and then I rub it back here on her tummy. She's 14 and a half, and she throws up a lot. So it really
Oh,
helps that.
But
It really
the
does help.
peppermint, you said?
Mhm.
With water.
so she said she has a dog that has some tummy problems, and she can dilute the oil down quite a bit, like a drop with a tablespoon, and put it on her tummy, and it helps to soothe her tummy because she was throwing up. So that's a nice thing. She used peppermint on her dog.
Just oils for
So that's a very cool thing too.
doTERRA has a whole book on it. And
Oh, yeah.
Was it
Pets?
you that found the one? On
Yeah,
Kindle
what
that
is
was
that
free?
one?
Spoil Your-
Spoil Your Pets. Yeah.
SPOIL.
It's on Amazon, and there was a book too. Pets love essential oils. Dogs, horses, like peppermint, for example. Peppermint helps to keep the flies off, and horses will love that. You can, or lavender, or
You said peppermint for flies?
oh yeah,
Did you put it in your house? to keep the
diffuse
flies?
it. Yeah, where were we at? Mark and I were somewhere, and there were just flies everywhere. So I got the peppermint out and I put it on all of us, and they stayed away because we were trying to eat our food. I was like, this is gross.
I thought you found us that free book on Kindle that was on.
There was a
doTERRA,
free
so I
book.
downloaded it, so that's where I looked up last night, or the day before yesterday, about the peppermint, on how to dilute it for that, because it wasn't quite that detailed in the doTERRA one, but that's a good book. It was free on Kindle.
It's called what?
Yeah.
I can't think
I
of the
can't
name
remember
of
the
it.
name of it. It's in our Facebook group.
Yeah, it's in our group.
and
I saw it.
Amazon
You told us
does,
to download it, and it was free.
because they do like free books for a limited time. So I shared it. I was like, everybody get this book because it's free and it's on pets, because we don't have pets. So I'm not full disclosure, I'm not the expert on essential oils and pets, but I can research. I can help people find the answer if they need to. My husband is allergic, so I grew up with a kitty cat. But yeah, I know. I go to my sister and get my kitty cat love, and then and then come back. Bergamot, I love bergamot. Oh my gosh, like let's just put some on now. Like this is one of my favorite oils. I wear this like perfume. So this bergamot, doTERRA's bergamot, sourced from Italy. This emotionally is the oil of self-acceptance. And I think that's so beautiful, especially in my health coaching practice, because I feel like at the root of a lot of issues that we're having is this feeling of not feeling like we're enough. We're not doing enough, we're not smart enough, we're not pretty, whatever enough. And bergamot can help with that self-acceptance. It's a really awesome oil. It can help to soothe any anxious feelings. It can help to ease sadness. It can promote letting go. Ooh. Letting go. Yeah, we could all use more of that, right? It's the Elsa oil. So letting go.
Oh, how funny.
Do we have any like Frozen fans here? I'm a Disney fan. We don't have children, but I watch a lot of Disney, guys. So both emotionally, like how many times is unforgiveness and resentment and grudges going to come up? And this can be really helpful. I have a stubborn hip flexor muscle so I actually put this on the muscle because it's the oil of letting it go. Yeah, to kind of ease that, because I do feel, again, there's this link between an emotional and a physical thing that can come up. So bergamot is really good for that. Ylang ylang, I love ylang ylang. This is a really great oil. It can help to support your blood pressure. If you are like really riled up all the time and your veins are going to pop out of your neck, it can help to support that. To calm any anxious feelings. It can help to ease sadness, and ylang ylang is the oil of the inner child. So finding joy and fun and playing is just as important to your health as diet and sleep and everything else. So this is a nice oil, and I should have premised this. If we're passing around an oil and you do not like the smell of an oil, it's probably bringing out an emotional component, and come up here later and look it up and you will be amazed. You don't like ylang ylang. So for an example, like ylang ylang, we'll look that up. I'll read a little bit about this. Ylang ylang, the oil of the inner child, is also a powerful remedy for releasing emotional trauma from the past. So it can.
If I don't like it, does that mean I haven't let go of my past?
Yeah,
It means that it's probably bringing up an emotional component for you related to that. It assists individuals in releasing bottled up emotions such as anger and sadness. Feelings that have been buried inside are easily brought to light through ylang yalang's assistance. This oil allows emotional healing to flow naturally, nourishing the heart through the process. It reminds the individual that joy can be felt and experienced more fully by allowing the heart its full range of emotions. So, and that's just a little section. It's really, really interesting, and I cannot tell you how many times, for instance, my sister-in-law, she smelled lavender. She's like, I hate lavender. And I was like, why don't you look up in the book?
So does this mean I need to use more of that?
Yeah, so if you really don't like the smell, that maybe means reintroducing it, and that maybe means putting it on your feet, or making a roller bottle blend and starting with your feet, and then, add a little bit and kind of build up, because if you hate the smell, you're not going to want to put it in your diffuser or something like that. But it could be, you want to put a little bit on the bottom of your feet to ease that into your daily routine. But the cool thing is, like, this book has a great section in the beginning, and it talks about how, for example, if you were going to go to your garden and you were going to pull all the weeds out of your garden, if the soil's really dry, it's hard to do that. It's hard to pull them out by the root. But if you water and then you go in, it's much, much easier to pull those weeds out by the root. So the essential oils don't do the emotional work for us, but it's going to make it a little bit easier. It's going to give you support while you do that. And so oftentimes I work with my private coaching clients on stress or different things that they can do. And so they may do journaling with an essential oil to help them, or EFT, like tapping or deep breathing. And they have that essential oil going to support them through that process, which is kind of nice. So it's just, for me, one more piece of the puzzle. And this book is really cool because it talks about the negative emotions. So let me see here. Let's go back to ylang ylang. So the negative emotions, if you were feeling this, you'd want to put this oil in or diffuse it in a blend. Joylessness, overstressed, grief, sadness, loss of a loved one, disconnected from inner child. And then the positive properties that it promotes: freedom, playful, intuitive, heart healing, emotionally filled, joyful, accepting. So that's kind of neat, because you can either, like, and it has a nice little table here, like if you're feeling a negative emotion, it can tell you the oil to use to kind of bring the positive, or vice versa. If you want to feel the positive, you can look up the oil. And there's a nice little wheel. I was trying to think of the word. Forgive me. Wheel. So there's the positive emotions. So if you want to feel these, you can look at the corresponding oil. And then there's a negative. If you are experiencing a negative emotion and you want to get out of that, what oil? And this is from Aroma Tools. They're not very expensive, aromatools.com, but I can pass this around if you guys want to look at it too as we're going through all of these.
Now, wait a minute, could you repeat that? If you are feeling the negative and you want to get rid of the negative,
You look at the orange parts.
you look at the,
If you're feeling negative and you want to get rid of the, there's two ways to go. If
Okay.
you're feeling like anger,
yeah.
you could look up on the blue and green side anger, and it'll tell you the oil to get out of it.
To get out of it. Okay.
Or you could look up on the positive side like joy, and it'll show you oils to get.
So when you're driving down hillside and all the traffic and all the construction.
Now, when you're stuck in traffic, you go to your purse and
Yes.
get out the oil.
And they may,
I think there's a lot of power in using both
Yeah.
yeah,
of
Yes.
those. It'll help you both ways.
that's true.
Uh-huh.
Because I definitely, anytime we're doing emotion work and pulling something out, it's always really great to also just use whatever your very favorite oil is that feels very nurturing or soothing. So we can kind of think of it like that, pulling out,
Yeah,
but then
pulling out
also
and-
bringing in.
Mhm.
And so I think there's a lot of power in doing both at the same time.
And it's nice because there's charts like that in this book
Oh, there it
that has both. Like if you're feeling, and you can
yeah.
look up very quickly. There's a nice little reference list in the back. There's several charts, so you can look up like this says, and it's very specific, like pessimistic, powerless to heal, like very specific things. And then you can look up the oils with that. So it's nice. Like for example, there was a situation, and I just like could not even voice what emotion I was feeling. And I went through the book, and it was harassed. I read that word and I was like, oh, I'm feeling harassed in this moment by this person. And the oil for that was On Guard, which is the protective blend. We typically think of On Guard for immune support, like when you're feeling under the weather, but emotionally, it's like protecting you. So there's another oil, Terra Shield, and it helps with like negative energy. So if you have a child that is being bullied at school, they could put Terra Shield on, and it's the repellent blend. So we use it for like bug spray, like outside in the summer, but it's literally bug off. So if there are like bullies or negative, I don't know, maybe we all have one of those family members, right? So you could just like put on your oils, your On Guard or your Terra Shield or something, and it'll support you. There was not even joking, there was a situation where I was at Natural Grocery shopping, and somebody walked in, and I was just like, I was so tired. It was just one of those days, and I just did not even have the strength to deal with that. And I just said a little prayer to my angels, and I had Terra Shield in my bag, and I put it on, and like went through the whole store, like completely didn't even run into. It was fine. I had a wonderful shopping experience. It's funny. It is funny how when you use the oils to support you emotionally, what comes up. And there's also, I forgot to mention, but the Essential Life book is an amazing, amazing book. This is something that I gift to people who get started with oils, depending on kind of what kit they have. But there's a section in this book just on emotions, several things, and it goes into more. We're just touching the surface with this, but it's page 308, and it goes a lot. It talks about food and mood. It talks about your sense of smell, sleep, and it has a nice little emotional index in here too. So that was 308. There's several pages in here. So lots of resources, because you guys had this tear pad and we're just scratching the surface, but lots of other resources to kind of continue to help and support you with this.
Laura, have you looked at the Essential Emotions app? Have you had a chance to look at that?
The Essential Emotions, is that the daily drop that has the specific
No,
little...
it's different.
Ooh.
So there's an app called Essential Emotions.
I'll have to write this down for me.
You do have to pay $9.99 for it.
Essential Emotions app. Okay, it's
But it not
$9.99.
only tells you, what I like about it is that it not only tells you, what oils for what emotions, but it asks you some thought-provoking questions, and it gives you an affirmation so that it can ask you some questions to try to get you thinking about the root issue, and then it gives you the affirmation for that positive. It's an amazing tool.
And that was emotions.
Essential emotions.
Essential Emotions. So Susan said there's an app called Essential Emotions. It's $9.99. It will ask you thought-provoking questions. It will help you figure out which oil to use and give you an affirmation. And that's powerful. Affirmations are really powerful, and you can use the oils with that. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Okay, I'm going to pull it. I pulled it up, and it comes up abandoned. So it gives the definition for it, and it says the supporting oils. The opposing emotion is if you feel supported. And then it says it's called a processing support. So it says look deeper. Who or what has left me alone? Do I feel loss over a change in my life? Then it tells you to use aromatically to the spine, back of the neck or ears. The affirmation is, I am perfectly supported in every moment. I trust my higher power. And it also gives you a visualization.
Oh, nice.
See yourself being held and perfectly nourished by light. It's an amazing, it's a nice
That's
tool.
awesome. Okay, I need to write that down. Someone remind me after the class.
Essential emotions.
Essential Emotions. That is awesome. Thanks for bringing that up. And there is, doTERRA has a free app, The Daily Drop. And on the back of your guys' tear pad, I put a little sticker that has some resources for you. So there's the Modern Essentials app, which is kind of similar to this book in app form. It's I think $6.99. It's totally worth it. The Daily Drop is free. And oh, sorry, did you have a question?
Oh, no. I was just...
Okay, I wanted to make sure I answered questions if you had one. The Daily Drop is free, and it does have a little like wheel. If you click in the top kind of corner, it'll pull up the emotions piece too, which is kind of nice. But that one sounds even better. I like that it's in more detail. Even tells you where to apply the oils and then the affirmation for that. So that's a great resource. Vetiver. So Vetiver, it's a really thick oil. I put a little dropper top on it that I got from shareoils.com to make it a little bit easier. Otherwise, I was kind of holding it for a long time to get a drop out because it is so thick. This is
works on your patience. What's it called?
Vetiver. Vetiver. I'll pass it around and let you guys smell it. It's a very grounding oil.
Oh,
So it can ease like nervous energy. It can calm anger. It can soothe anxious feelings. It's a really great oil to have on hand for that. It's funny, I could not stand the smell of that oil. It was the only essential oil that I had ever smelled that gave me a migraine. And when I first got Vetiver, I just got an instant migraine when I smelled it. And then I looked up in the emotions book, and it's all about grounding. It's the oil of grounding. And it was during a time in my life where I felt very ungrounded. And now it's in a lot of blends, and I tolerate it just fine. But it's funny, it was bringing out an emotional piece for me. And I think that's what, like, so much that I almost sent the oil back to doTERRA and said, I don't want this oil. But when I looked it up in the emotions book, I was like, yeah, I should probably hang on to that oil because I probably need it.
You've used the word grounded a couple times. What is grounded, being grounded?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let's see if I can answer this. Susan, you may have to help me this. So the question was, what is being grounded? What does that mean? So I think grounded, to me, grounded means coming back to the present moment, coming back with your connection with Mother Earth or whatever you want to call it. There's actually research that shows like when you put your feet in the sand, when you put your feet on the ground, there is an electrical charge that the earth puts off and it grounds you. Like we're so, like with all of our technology and EMFs and everything, we can kind of get really flustered and kind of overwhelmed, and some people are very sensitive to EMFs. I am. And grounding, like when you just go outside and you just put your feet in the grass or put your feet in the dirt or on the beach, it can literally ground you. And there are tests, it is scientific that it can do this, and it just helps to kind of bring you back to that center. So balance is a very grounding oil. It's got a lot of woodsy oils in it. And to me, that just helps to say, okay, I need to come back to the present moment. I need to be in the now. I don't need to worry about what's going to happen tomorrow or what happened in the past, but ground me in myself and where I am now, and just work on the present moment. Because I think we can get so wrapped up when you're looking in the future, that's getting into more of a anxious, oh my gosh, what's going to come tomorrow? And then if we're looking in the past, it can be more like sadness, like dwelling on that and being stuck in that. Is that what would you say that would help with grounding?
Yeah.
I think it's excellent, and I've heard it described too as anytime we're grounding ourselves. One speaker I heard talked about how his favorite crystals he would put in his pocket, or his favorite color he wore that day, like anything that he surrounded himself with, just reminding him of who he was and staying centered in his truth. I heard it explained like that too.
Yeah. So it's just another.
So we show up to the world as who we are. We're easily swayed, by other people or situations we find ourselves in. We stand grounded in our truth.
Yeah.
Of who each of us really are.
Ooh, that's a good. Actually, and you know what we could do too to talk about that? We could read a little bit about Vetiver, because it is the oil of grounding, so I'm sure it would explain grounding in a nice way. Let's see, because when I first used Vetiver, and I was like, oh, and I told Susan too, I was like, this gave me a headache, and I don't like it, and she was like, why don't you read about it in the emotions book? And I was like, so I'm sorry, it's centering and descent. So we should probably read balance, the grounding blend. I forget. So it's centering and descent is Vetiver, and the grounding blend is balance. So we can pull out balance and let you guys smell it. Oh, see, balance is one of I have some of my oils in these little ones, and then this is how much of I take all my oils with me when we travel. And we just went to New Mexico to celebrate my Nana's 90th birthday. So I have all my oils on hand. So these are like the ones I travel with, because you never know. You never know when someone's going to get a bloody nose or something's going to happen, and you can just whip out your oils. Well, and then I have some on keychains that I just keep with me all the time. And balance is one that I keep with me all the time. So let me pass this around and you guys can smell it while I talk about what it is, because that will probably define grounding for us in a much better way than I can. Balance, I think, makes an amazing perfume without all the toxins and endocrine disruptors.
Did you fill those bottles, or did they come that way?
You have to fill them yourself.
Okay.
But I did post a video in our group of how to do that. It's really easy. They hold 40 drops about. And these little bitty ones, so these are kind of little sample bottles. They hold about 20 drops, and those bigger ones hold about 40. So the grounding blend, oil of grounding. The grounding blend is primarily a combination of tree oils and roots. Trees live in the present moment. They are not in a hurry. They are stable. Grounding blend's soft energy is excellent for calming hyperactive children who have difficulty settling down. It is a wonderful remedy for adults who need to reconnect with their roots. Grounding blend strengthens a connection with the lower body and with the earth. These connections are especially important when their upper faculties have been overused due to excessive thinking, speaking, or spiritual activity. Grounding blend is especially suited for personalities who seek to escape from life through disconnection or disassociation. These individuals may avoid long-term commitments in work or relationships, preferring instead to drift with the wind. This blend reminds individuals that to realize their true dreams and desires, they must stay focused on a goal until it is actualized in the physical world. Grounding blend teaches true perseverance by assisting the individual in staying present with a specific plan or idea until it is embodied. Providing inner strength and fortitude, grounding blend teaches individuals to ground their energy and to manifest their vision with the patience of a tree.
And this is balance.
This is balance. Balance is amazing. So balance is one that I just put on the bottom of my feet every morning. It's part of my morning routine. And then I do serenity on the bottom of my feet at night. That's a calming blend to help support sleep, and it's just part of my normal routine with that.
Put it on straight or roller bottle?
I put it on straight. And balance is actually already diluted. There is a little bit of fractionated coconut oil in it, but you could do a roller blend if you wanted to with that. Let's talk about sandalwood. So sandalwood is very relaxing. It can help with concentration and focus. It can help with sleep. So this is nice. It is kind of a woodsy oil that you can have there. We'll pass that around. And rosemary is a really great oil too for concentration. Like say you have a test or you need to really focus and stay on point. Rosemary is really nice for that. It can help with fatigue. Like if you're feeling a little tired, it can help to ease sadness. So rosemary would be a great one for that too. We'll pass that around.
You don't like it?
Not a fan of the sandalwood.
Either.
Okay, we have to look it up now. People don't like the soil. What's happening?
I think that response from a lot of people.
Oh, this is interesting. The oil of sacred devotion. So it says, assists in quieting the mind so that individuals may hear the subtle voice of the Spirit. It raises them into higher levels of consciousness. Interesting. It assists with all kinds of prayer, meditation, and spiritual worship.
So that means I need to quiet my mind?
Maybe. This is rosemary. Oh. Give you another one. I'll trade you. So that's rosemary. And you can cook with this oil. So doTERRA's oils are safe for internal use. The oils that are safe for internal use will have a supplement fact on the oil. If it has a supplement fact similar to like picking up a package from the store, it's okay for internal use. And that's a big thing because those now oils, they even say for aromatic use only. They're really like perfumey, fragrancy kind of things. So doTERRA's are safe for internal use, which is cool, which really sets them apart from a lot of this. And for topical use, because again, whatever we're putting on our skin gets absorbed transdermally, goes into our bloodstream. Whatever we're breathing in goes into the brain, into our lungs. So you do want things to be pure and safe for that.
How do you know how many drops to put in the water that you're doing?
Typically about 1 drop to 8 ounces of water. I think I read somewhere that the maximum limit for oils internal was like 22 drops a day. That'd be really hard to do because they're strong. Like even if you were going to cook, like say with oregano, which is a really strong oil, I don't even think I would do a whole drop of oregano in my sauce. I would put a toothpick through that and just dip it in the toothpick and then swirl it, like do little figure eights in your sauce. And that's perfect. Like you would not, if you put 2 drops of oregano in your spaghetti sauce, you would not want to eat it. Like it's really, because essential oils are 60 to 70 times more potent than herbs. So that's a big time difference with that. I need to do a class on cooking with essential oils.
That'd be fabulous.
I need to do a class. In my healthy cooking classes, we do use essential oils quite a bit. And the cool thing is now we're switching to virtual. So the next virtual class will be December 3rd. And it will be a holiday cooking class. And the replay will be good for 2 weeks. And you'll get an ebook with all the recipes. So it'll be in the Facebook group. And it'll be Facebook Live. And people can ask questions. But if they can't catch it live, they can watch the replay anytime in those 2 weeks and post questions. And we'll have it in the group. And it'll be really fun. Because my coaching practice, I would say like 50% is virtual. And I have clients in California, and I had my first client from the Netherlands, which was crazy, and Canada, and East Coast, West Coast, and they want to do cooking classes too. So we need to figure out a way to help everybody.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I think what is so confusing to me is there's so many oils that kind of cross over. You know, let's say lemon. You know, maybe there are 4 or 5 oils that are good for anxiety.
Yeah.
How do you know?
The best one.
Yeah, just pick one and
There's
stick
like
with it,
there's
or-
like 6 on here for sadness.
for sadness.
Yeah.
How do you?
That's a really good question. So I taught you how to muscle test.
You what?
We talked about muscle testing in the group coaching class, remember? So you could muscle test, to see which oil you need. Oftentimes, your intuition, your gut instinct, if you're reading something and you're like, I feel really drawn to this today, or if you like put your oils out and you just go with it, you could look up what it is. Even if it's a physical thing that you want to use it, you could still look it up in the emotions book and just see which one's going to pinpoint it even more, or trial and error. If you're trying one oil and it's working for you, you can reapply every 15 minutes. If you try one oil and it's not working for you, use a different oil. Example, Mark and I this weekend, we ate with friends at a Vietnamese restaurant, and then we drove to the party, to Nana's party, with like all these people, and we were doing family pictures and all this stuff, and Mark looks white, and he kind of steps out, and I was like, are you okay? Like I went and found him, and he was like, that didn't settle with me, and I don't feel good, and so I'm grabbing Digestive. That's the digestive support blend, and I'm having it. We are putting it on his tummy. He's taking it internal. I am oiling that boy up. Like I'm just like like
so good.
we're just gonna, and that's why you carry your oils with you, and you put them in your little keychain because you never know when you're gonna. And he like never gets sick. We're using that, and that's not working. And he's like, so then I look on my Modern Essentials app, because I didn't take my book with me, but I had my app on my phone to look for things that could support me, and On Guard came up. I had On Guard beadlets in my purse, and I had the oil. So he's taking the On Guard beadlets internally, and he said, oh my gosh, that like instantly. He was like, I'm feeling better. I was like, good, keep taking them. And then we put the oil on his tummy, and we put the oil on the bottom of his feet. And then color started coming back in his face. He was, I mean, he could tell. So when you find the right one, you'll know. And there is, we always say there's an oil for that. There is an oil for that. We may just need to try a couple different ones to find the right oil for that. But On Guard wouldn't have been my first go-to for that. It was digestion. It wasn't. And it just, and you know, I was like, smell it, put it in your water, and do all this stuff. And that's, so just a safety tip, if you're doing oils internally, glass or stainless steel, not plastic, because the essential oils are very potent and they can break down the petrochemicals in the plastic. See, look, my whole crew, they know. So glass or stainless steel. Okay, Roman chamomile. This is the last one we didn't talk about. So a very sweet friend of mine in Virginia mailed me this because I didn't have Roman chamomile. It has been out of stock. So there was something happened to the crop, and this is another reason why I love doTERRA, and it didn't pass inspection. So doTERRA has third-party testers test the essential oils multiple times throughout the process for purity and potency. So at convention, they have partnered up, doTERRA has partnered up with Johns Hopkins. That's pretty amazing. I think change is coming when they're doing this, because they were testing the oils for different things. And what was amazing, so they did this with positive and negative gram-bacteria. Am I saying that right? And the oils were working, where they were antibiotic-resistant bacteria. The antibiotics were not working for this stuff. And the oils were working. And the researcher said, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Send me another bottle of this. Got the same results. Send me another bottle of this. Got the same results. So that never happens, by the way, where it's doTERRA's reputation for consistency and purity and potency and how they rigorously test throughout the whole process so that nothing gets contaminated in there and they get consistent results. And this is why, because when you're doing a research study, you need consistent results. You need something that's going to work. So that's amazing. And there was a bunch of doctors, they had a whole panel of doctors at convention that were talking about this. Like, change is coming, you guys. Like, my family doctor emailed me about essential oils. Change is coming. Like, we're looking for these things. So that's really cool. But anyways, Roman chamomile, the crop was destroyed, and so it's been out of stock for 1.5 years. It comes back December 1st. Mark your calendars. Like, I'm so excited to get me some Roman chamomile. Same thing with Melissa. Melissa's a very expensive essential oil, but it's very, very powerful. Melissa is the oil for like big time emotional support, for like sadness, like you're down in the dumps, like dark, dark stuff. That's Melissa. And Melissa and Roman chamomile will be back in stock on December 1st. So get excited, because it probably, I don't know if it'll sell out. When Melissa came back, it sold out. So limit 2 per household. I'm probably going to get 2 of each because I need my oils. But this is Roman chamomile. I'll pass it around and let you guys smell it. So Roman chamomile, it eases sadness. It can calm anxious feelings. It can promote relaxation. So we often, think of chamomile tea. So to give you an example, like 1 drop of peppermint is equivalent to 23 cups of peppermint tea. So you're getting a big bang for your buck with essential oils. For example, cinnamon, very, very supportive to help with blood sugar and support your blood sugar. You'd have to dump a whole lot of cinnamon spice into your stuff to get the effect that 1 drop would have, which is adding that to your tea or adding that to something. So it's a big bang for your buck. I think you really get your money's worth with using 1 drop to kind of spread out with that. And that's the cool thing. So doTERRA really outsources where they're getting the stuff from. So like we talked about, they go to those regions all over and find where they thrive and where they get the best thing. Because like frankincense grown here is probably not going to have the same effect as it grown in Oman or in these indigenous regions where those plants thrive. So it has a big difference with that. and they're pure. So doTERRA's oils, there's no fillers, there's no chemicals, there's no artificial ingredients in these things. If there were, Johns Hopkins would not have contacted doTERRA to work with them. So the reputation is really huge with that. They're tested for purity and composition and distillation when they arrive, when they get them, when they transport them, when they arrive. They are continually testing these so that they are the purest. And that's why, since there is no governing agency, doTERRA came up with certified pure therapeutic grade for themselves. That is a trademark that doTERRA has because they're setting that highest standard for purity and potency with their oils that they have, to make sure that we get the desired result with this, that it is what it says it is. Because sometimes, like an example, cassia oil is kind of similar to cinnamon, but it's much cheaper. So some companies, they found when they do testing, they've diluted their cinnamon with cassia. It's not full cinnamon oil. So Dr. Papa's is on Facebook, and he's a chemist, and he tests a bunch of essential oils. And there was another big company that their cinnamon wasn't all cinnamon, wasn't what they said it was. So it's just nice to know that, and Dr. Papa's is has been very impressed with doTERRA and with the testing and everything. So just as important, there's many different things that are important for mood. So, and lifestyle changes that can help us with mood. Diet. You guys know I love to talk about diet. So that was one of the reasons why I fell in love with doTERRA, is their foundation is nutrition, is diet. And when your diet's on point, the essential oils work even better for you because they're enhancers. Essential oils work at the cellular level, which is cool. There's not many things that do that, to enhance whatever it is that we're using, which is really cool. So increasing more plant-based foods, avoiding the processed foods. The top food sensitivities for some people, I'm not talking allergies, just sensitivities: gluten, dairy, sugar, soy, corn, peanuts, and eggs. So taking maybe those out for 100% for 30 days and then adding it back in to see if you have an issue with that. People in my 3-month group health coaching program, we're all on an elimination diet right now.
Oh, are you?
We just finished a week. We're on week 2 now, because you can do anything for 30 days. And we're adding that in and seeing what we have sensitivities to. As an example, the number one symptom of celiac disease is celiac disease is depression. So with gluten. And that's huge. How many people have that and go to their doctor and get put on an antidepressant and maybe didn't even need that, and maybe now they're having constipation, so they're on another medicine for that, and they're on another medicine for that. Diet is foundational, so I love that this talks about that. It talks about gut health. So 80% of our immune system comes from our gut. Our microbiome is so important with all of this. And there's been recent studies that show that healthy balance of gut flora can improve mood and reduce that anxiousness. So the majority of our serotonin is not produced in the brain. It's produced in the gut, like 90% of our serotonin. So that's amazing. And essential oils can promote digestive health with that and can just help with promoting more gut bugs. So I recommend a probiotic. doTERRA has 2. There is PB Assist. So this is a probiotic for adults. It is coated to where when you have hydrochloric acid in the stomach, it can kill off your probiotic. If you don't have a probiotic that is kind of enterically coated, you're just wasting your money, because the probiotics got to get to the small intestine, and they got to pass through the stomach to do that. And the stomach is a very highly acidic area. So you can go to CVS or Walmart or someplace like that and get a probiotic, but it's not getting into to where you need it. So these are coated to where they will get to the area that they need to get. And then this was so exciting. So this is a new product that was just released, the PB Assist Junior. And these taste like pixie sticks. They're little sticks. You will not have a problem getting your kids to eat this. You will have a problem getting them to stop, because they're going to want a bunch of these because they taste like candy. They're sweetened with xylitol and erythritol, so natural sweeteners that are not going to spike their blood sugar. But these are amazing. These are also enterically coated, and these are designed for kids. So to get it into the small intestine where we need it. And just adding a probiotic can be a game changer for people's health. So that is an option too that can really help with mood support. Yeah, we can pass these around. And I ate all my little previous juniors.
Boxes in.
I don't even have ones to try. I need to order them so that you guys can try
You
some.
take them to the junior ones too?
Well, I got a convention kit, and so it came with it.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm not gonna recommend stuff to people if I haven't tried it.
Yeah.
And I was like, do these really taste good? Yeah, these really taste good.
But adults can take them if they want to.
Adults can take them too, and that would be a good, you know, if you're one of those persons and you just can't swallow pills, and it's like a pixie stick, yeah. And they have a chewable vitamin that's really good. I love it. It's what is that? Watermelon flavored, or that one's watermelon flavored. And I've been taking the kids ones to try them, and I love them. So that could be a good option too. But probiotic is important. I would recommend taking it with dinner or at night before you go to bed. But some people can't. So getting it in probiotic whenever you can is, but Julie, you may like these. You should order those and try them. Because they do taste like a pixie stick. And
They're super cute.
all of the moms that I've said, they're like, we want more, we want more. It's like,
Right
wait till
to the
tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
But getting it and starting them off early, getting their microbiome going early. Like in Europe, if you get on an antibiotic, they automatically give you a probiotic. It just comes with it. When you pick up your antibiotic, there's like, here's your probiotic.
Yeah.
Slowly they're doing that. I hear of a few doctors that are doing that, but that's not the norm. It needs to be the norm.
Can I
With all
ask you a
this.
question?
Yeah.
It said over here on the diet, it says inhaling grapefruit can reduce appetite. But then you move down to the gut and it says essential oils that promote digestive health inhibit. What oils? Which essential oils?
So,
help the gut?
for the gut, so that's talking about inhibiting like the bad stuff.
No, but I mean, is there an oil that you smell
Oh,
for the gut?
it would be
For
Digestion. It would be the digestive support blend, probably.
Oh,
And that is an oil that you would either apply topically to the stomach
yeah.
or take internally. And that has phenol, like things that are going to calm the system.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, so in my nutritional endocrinology, I'm taking a 2-year nutritional endocrinology practitioner training program to just learn more and more and more about this. And we had a whole section on essential oils for digestive health. We had a whole section in our sleep module on essential oils and sleep. I was like, yay, like this is amazing. So, especially like with people who maybe have some bad stuff in there that we need to address. It talked about essential oils that can help with that and how you need to rotate them, like every 4 days to kind of
really?
trick the bad bugs. And you can apply them topically or take them internally. So yeah.
But you said
Digestion, that's the digestive support blend. I've got it here if you guys want to smell it. Emotionally, it helps with overwhelm, like literally when you bite off more than you can chew. That's it kind of has a black licorice smell in it. I really like it. It reminds me of my granddad because he really liked black licorice, but some people are like, and I'm like, well, maybe, are you overwhelmed? Maybe you need to diffuse that at work. Maybe you need to add that in. So exercise is really important for mood and everything that we have going on there. This recommends moderate exercise 3 times a week to help with like sadness and help to improve sleep. Peppermint can be really energizing and can help with aerobic performance. There are some research studies on this. Actually, after I read that, I thought every single gym and physical therapy clinic and everybody needs to be diffusing peppermint because it can help with that opening up your airways, help with that oxygen intake and supporting your respiratory system. I've had people tell me they've noticed improvements on their run. Like they smell peppermint, put a little bit of peppermint on their chest before they go for a run, and they just notice improvement. I'll put peppermint and frankincense on before I exercise to just help support me. So using those essential oils, or if you don't want to go work out, you can put on your Motivate. And then you got this. Like you put on your oils and you go. And we'll talk about those too here in a bit.
I like that one.
You like that one? I like Digestion. And then sleep. Sleep is huge. Oh my gosh, you guys. Like for mood, for everything, for a whole life. Like we need to be sleeping. And ideally, it depends on the person, but 7 to 8 hours. Some people need more. Some people, I'm not going to say less. I really think you need at least 7 to 8 hours for that. But lavender, cedarwood, doTERRA just came out with the Serenity. They've revamped Serenity and added vetiver and cedarwood and hoewood to make it more grounding and calming, and renamed it the Restful Blend to help support sleep. And they now have Serenity soft gels. So they have a natural alternative It has lavender, L-theanine, passion flower, valerian root, some herbs that help with calming. And what was interesting is all those herbs are ones we talked about in our sleep module, and then adding in the lavender. So taking those like 2 soft gels a night, and then they're meant to be used with the Serenity oil. So putting the oil on your feet or diffusing it and taking the soft gels. So add that to your wish list. Add that to your order to try because it can be really great.
Sprinkling that new Serenity on my pillow has just been game changing.
Yeah.
I have
It's
never gone to sleep with my makeup on my face.
Yeah.
One time in college, I'm not even joking because I've always dealt with my face freaking out. It is like a big deal for me. I do not go to bed with my makeup on. And I lay down with my daughter, and I woke up the next morning in all my normal clothes, everything. I mean, I slept the whole night, and I was like, what in the world? That's not even normal for me. And I was like, there was Serenity all over the pillow. I
oh
blamed
my
on this
gosh.
Serenity. Never happened to me before, ever. I slept so sound and just out.
And then you were ready to go.
That's right. Not really, but.
There's something to that.
2 together, Serenity and lavender together?
Well, there's lavender in Serenity.
Oh, there's lavender. Did you just say that?
What did I say? And they put vetiver in the blend.
Yeah, there's vetiver. There's cedarwood. Cedarwood is like bye-bye.
Yeah.
Like you put that on your big toe and you go to bed and it will make you go to bed. So it's nice that they added that in because they know how important sleep is
Wait, is
for
that right? Did they add vetiver or cedarwood?
both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah, vetiver, cedarwood, and hoewood.
Yes.
So it's more grounding. It's yeah. I really love the new blend. And I'll be honest, guys, because I love Serenity. I love the calming blend, and I was like, don't mess with my Serenity. And then I smelled the new one and used it, and I love it. I'm glad they did that. I feel like it's a new Serenity. So now when you order, you get your new Serenity.
Do you blend a lot of these things? Can you do 2 at one time?
Yeah.
Is that okay? We did that at the beginning.
Yeah, you could do 2 at one time. There's no harm in that. It's not going to hurt you.
Okay.
It may not smell awesome,
Okay.
depending on what you use.
Right.
But if you're using it for emotional support or putting it on the bottom of your feet, you don't need it to smell awesome. You're just
Okay.
using it to support you in that time. But yeah, you can blend any oils together.
Talk about the places you put them.
So you can put them on your pulse points, so where you would put perfume, behind your ears, on your wrists, over your heart, on your chest. You can put them on the bottom of your feet because you have very large pores that can absorb there. Behind the knees can be a good place, especially for kiddos, which is kind of an interesting place. Along the spine, you have a lot of toxins and things there, so you can roll the oils.
How do you get it on your spine?
You get a friend.
Oh,
You can do it if you're really
Yeah, well, how
flexible.
do
You
do
can do that, but you can put a drop on the cotton ball and then put it there. Just rest it or around the ear. Is a really, really good place. Like if you need ear support, lavender and melaleuca around the ear is great. You're not gonna put it in the ears, not in the eyes, not like up the nose, not any mucous membranes. But everywhere else is fair game for where you need it. It's hard to do oils wrong. You just want to put the lids on because they'll dry out. But I think that's the only way to do oils wrong is like you don't put your lids back on.
You said not here?
I wouldn't like I wouldn't like drop oils in your nose or something like that.
I'm gonna put it right here.
You can put it around. This is a good place. I didn't know this. Cupid's bow. Hillary told me about this. This is called Cupid's bow. I'm a physical therapist, and I didn't know there was a name for this above your. I mean, I did like gross anatomy and cadaver lab and anatomy and physiology. So Cupid's bow. It's a cool place because it then you smell it. It's like a little diffuser. That little place. So sometimes you can do that too. You can put it on your scarf. They have diffuser necklaces that have lava beads, and you can put it like this is a leather bracelet, so I could put my oils in the leather and kind of smell it. Have diffusers running at work or at home. They have travel diffusers for your car. We actually took one with us to Albuquerque and just diffused oils in our car. So there's lots of different options for that. And then it talks about hormonal balance, so supporting your hormones. So it mentions geranium and thyme applied over the liver or the kidneys to support with progesterone, geranium and frankincense to support the endocrine system, and clary sage, basil, coriander, and lavender to kind of help with a low dose of phytoestrogens. So if you wanted to support your hormones naturally, you can use your oils to do that. They can help in a bunch of different ways, which is kind of nice. And then on the back of your sheet, there's a whole little index card for a bunch of different things. So you can look at a bunch of different things to support you emotionally and go to and just have some ideas. You can try a bunch of them together, like in a roller bend or in your diffuser. You could just try one and see how those work for you. And it also talks about how to use it. So diffusing is going to be the best for emotional support or respiratory support. So having a diffuser like this one up here, or putting it on your hands and smelling it would be well. Inhaling it, you can just open up a bottle and smell it. If you're feeling really stressed, just carry a bottle of lavender around with you. Just open it up and smell it when you need to. Topically, we talked about bottoms of the feet, chest. You know, if you're having a headache, peppermint along the forehead or temples. You can add a couple drops to a bath. Can be really nice. And then it talks about the oils to avoid because these are really hot oils. So if you're going to do that, you put fractionated coconut oil in your tub to help with that, but you might not like that. You can use it with massage, can be really nice. You know, and these doTERRAs are safe to use with your kiddos. So you want to dilute. They're little people, right? So you could put a drop in like a 10 ml roller blend, and like put a drop of lavender, fill it up with fractionated coconut oil, and you could use that on a baby. Put it on the bottom of their feet or put it on their spine to help them. And you could use more for kiddos. I'll post a dilution guide in our group about that. And there's also a great recommendation in the Essential Life book. There's a whole section just for dilution to help you with that. But like great. I do. I actually have it tabbed in my book. Let me get that for you. And then I wanted to just mention really quickly, so we talked about single oils. doTERRA has blends, emotional blends that they have put together for us. They've kind of done the work for us, and the name sounds like what it does. So dilution is going to be on page 12. So it says for babies, 1 drop to 1 tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil or carrier oil. For children, 1 drop to 1 teaspoon. And for adults, 3 to 6 drops to 1 teaspoon. Now again, everything is individualized. I've seen adults put 20 drops of an oil into a roller bottle and use that. So it just depends on you and if you're getting the right amount for you. Again, bioindividuality, we all have a different microbiome, we all respond differently to things. So it's a little bit of trial and error, kind of like your diet.
And feel free, like when you're making those, when you're putting 1 drop to a tablespoon, you can apply that on that baby, and you're going to need to apply that on that baby frequently throughout the day. Even if you use that whole thing, that's just 1 drop of oil that they got from that whole day. So the same thing, you know, with adults and stuff when you're doing that. Like definitely know you could reapply every 15 minutes, especially when they're diluted like that. So
yeah, less is more. So instead of taking 10 drops just once a day, doing a drop or 2 every 15 minutes or a couple times a day is going to give you better support with that.
Sure.
And that's a really nice thing. So the emotions oils, I'll show you guys these that they've come out with. So they came out with, we have Console, amazing oil for grief. And these are all in the emotions book too. Motivate, I call this the I don't want to's oil. You can put that on and help you. It's like, I don't want to do the dishes. Okay, I need to diffuse some Motivate or put it on. Passion, I love to use this with my work, with being creative and sparking that creativity. Passion's really great. Peace. I was in a car accident 2 months ago, and I had anxious feelings every time I got in the car because the car pulled out in front of me, and I knew we were gonna hit, and I slammed on my brakes, and it was like that feeling of helplessness. And so I did a lot of peace when I got in the car. Forgive. I don't need to explain that one. We need some forgive in our life. I like to roll that one over my heart before I go to bed and send those people love and light. Because that's a big piece of our health journey, is forgiving those people. Cheer is a nice one. And the cool thing is these oils, so the new products with Convention came out, they're now in roller blends. So how convenient is that? You throw it in your purse, it's already diluted. So I love the oils, and then just to have it in a roller blend is awesome. So they have kits here, the little kit for all of the roller blends. It's the touch kit. So these are nice, and I'll pass it around because it tells you what's in them, and you can look at that. And it works really nicely. These, and I'll show you guys because this is really cool. There is an entrepreneur lady. She's the sweetest lady, Becky with the Root and Petal. She came out with these colored caps. And they're designed to match your doTERRA oils. So this one you'll notice looks like Clary Calm. And some of these look like Past Tense and some of these other oils. And they're designed to match your emotions oils. So it makes it really easy when you're looking in your purse or looking through your stuff. You can just grab. And she does this and makes roller blends with her kids. And she also sells the roller bottles with the colors, it's $9.99 for 10, which is a great price. I think it's more than $1 at natural grocers, and they're not cute. And so her daughter knows, like, the red one is On Guard, and the yellow one is heliochrysum. And heliochrysum is great for, like, nosebleeds. And so she put some with fractionated coconut oil, and she made a roller, and it was yellow. And she said, "Mommy, I got a nosebleed." Or I guess she heard her over the monitor, and so she came up and she said, "I grabbed my oils," and she just rolled it on the bridge of her nose, and she stopped it. She said, "I did it myself. I stopped it myself." So even your kiddos at a young age can do this, and they respond so well to colors. So this is nice. And she's selling just the caps for a limited time. It's like $5 for these, and it's the Root and Petal. And I'll pass this around because we got a coupon code. So the coupon code is Convention to get 20% off. So I'll show that on here for all of our home viewers. And then I'll pass this around if you guys want to take a picture of it. Oh, yeah.
So you go to the Root and Petal website.
Mm-hmm. And they have a Facebook page, but yeah, or you just Google the Root and Petal.
I ordered some there.
But then you use that and you get 10% off?
20% off.
Oh.
Holla.
Well, and for your kids, it's very empowering that, for them to see the color if they have a tummy ache. Oh, okay, I need.
Yeah, like Digestive is blue, so you could make it in blue, and it just helps them to identify, and then they know which one is which. I loved that idea. I thought that was great, a great idea. And she's the sweetest lady, and I like to support women, especially entrepreneur women. So the Root and Petal, she's got a bunch of cute stuff. She's got essential oil shirts. She's got little mugs that say there's an oil for that, and she's got all kinds of cute stuff. So check her out. Lots of great stuff there. But yeah, so that's all the stuff on our essential oils. Again, we're just kind of scraping the surface. A couple other interesting books, if you want to check them out, are these are books that I really like. Louise Hay, Heal Your Body. I'll show this here and I'll pass it around if you guys want to take pictures.
For this, for that? How much is this?
The bottles are $9.99. This can be a lot more.
Oh, just the roller bottles are $9.99. Those are going to be more. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. The price for that to see. And I don't know if I'll have to ask Susan if they're sold individually or if it's just in the touch kit.
Oh.
But are the emotion oils sold individually?
I buy mine.
Or are they just in the touch kit for now? Like the Console and the... Oh, and I forgot to mention this to you guys too. Now, so they've revamped, doTERRA's revamped the rollers, and there's a stainless steel roller on here, which is really nice. And they've patented this new roller, so it is now leak-proof and stainless steel. And all of doTERRA's rollers will have this now. They've started with the touch, but all of them will come out. So you will now see, and I think they're probably like as they use up. So when you order like Past Tense or Clary Calm or Intune, the new rollers will be on there, which is really cool.
I don't see the individual ones. I think it's just in the kit for right now.
Okay, so they're just in the kit. Do you know how much they are? Somebody was asking.
For the kit?
Mm-hmm. She will look it up for us. This is another good book, The Healing Questions Guide. So I do believe that there is, again, an emotional component with stuff, and these books are really cool. The Louise Hayes book is kind of short and sweet, of like, if you're having issues with this, you can look it up in affirmations. This one is in depth, and this one gives you like questions to work on. So you could diffuse your oils and look it up in the book and do a little journaling or ask yourself. And I cannot tell you, just my own personal journey, I'll read that and I'll be like, oh.
This one.
Both of them.
Oh, both
But
of
yeah,
these days, yeah.
both of those are really good books to just kind of help with your journey. We have books here on sale for, if you guys are interested in getting a book. The Essential Life books are $25. The Emotion books are $20. I think, Susan, do we have diffusers?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So there's diffusers up there. They're $25. I highly recommend. I will warn you, they're addictive. You will want one for every room in your house. One to help you sleep, one in the living areas, all of that, which is really cool. And then
You'll
if
want one at work too.
Well, I got one that looks like a little kitty, and it just makes me feel better to look at it.
yeah, she has a cute, Green Air has some, they're like a pig and a duck and a cat and a frog. And they have fun ones too to kind of get your kids into it. Most of you guys are
Essential oils, but we'll pass this lunch to you. And the emotional aromatherapy touchy kit is $100. That's wholesale price.
wholesale price for that, for Keely in the back there. So we have those. If you guys are new to essential oils, I should grab this to you too, and are interested in getting started, so there's The way that doTERRA works is it's very similar to a Costco's or like a Sam's Club membership. So it's $35 for the year to get the wholesale price, and that's 25% off of retail. And that pays for itself very quickly as you're doing that. So it's just kind of like Costco's or Sam's or like Amazon Prime and getting all of that there. You can purchase retail off my website. I have a website, but that's not the most intelligent way to purchase oils, especially if you know that you're going to get started or get a couple of them. There are some kits. If you flip over to this side, the kits waive that $35 fee. So that's also a nice option if you wanted to get started with a couple of them to kind of have those on hand. You'll notice some of the kits have diffusers on hand. I will tell you, if you're like stuck in between getting one kit or the other kit, almost everybody has come back and told me, I wish I got a bigger kit. Like once they start getting oils in their home and they're using them for everything, they're like, oh, I wish I got that one, myself included, with this. So that's just kind of an option for you guys too. We provide a lot for everybody on my team when they get started, depending, when people get started with a natural solutions kit, I just give them the book. And this is an amazing kit. Like if you're really serious about kicking chemicals to the curb, getting rid of the stuff, like On Guard toothpaste and foaming hand soap and a bunch of different stuff, that's an option there too. For anybody else who just gets started with any of the kits, kind of little goodies, we get a user guide. So using essential oils, that just kind of helps you get started to have that there. And then I have a bunch of little samples with 2 roller bottles. So you can start making your roller blends, and it's got a bunch of samples of like the toothpaste and the deep blue rub and the shampoo and conditioner, so you can try those out. I want my people to feel very, very supported. So I set up a welcome call with them, either in person or over the phone. I walk you through how to make a roller bottle blend. I answer your questions. We go over your health goals and how we can use essential oils to help you. And then we do a membership overview, because if you got that membership, I want you to be able to access that discounted portal. I want you to be able to order and know how to do all of that. So there's a lot of support. We have a private Facebook group, which people are watching me in, which I record the classes. They're in that group, so everybody feels really supported, because I don't want people to, oils is like learning a new language. Let's be honest. And it can feel a little overwhelming when you first start your oils journey. This is a life and wellness journey. And I almost feel like when you start with essential oils, it's like, buckle up, because things are going to change. You're going to start looking at what you're eating. You're going to start looking at the people that you hang around with and all of this stuff and that emotional support. So that's what we're really fostering, and just wanting people to feel supported. So we post in there. I do Facebook Live videos in there. I do a lot of education in there. People ask questions, and it's just a really supportive place to help you along your journey with all of that. If you're interested in getting started, there is a little form here, and everything in purple is just what you would fill out. And then I can help you with that. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. But there's also the loyalty rewards program that doTERRA has, and it's just if you order one product a month, you get points back on your shipping, you get additional discounts on everything, and you get, like, I call them doTERRA bucks. So I have like several points saved up, and you just go on a shopping spree. And that's what I plan to do for Christmas. For all of that. But I'm planning on teaching a lot more classes. The next class that I'll do, probably in around the next 2 weeks, will be on staying well this time of year, and immune support, and what you can do to help you, because this tends to be like when everybody's getting under the weather right now. So we're going to talk about that and what you can do to support yourself and your family with all of that. Let me know if you have any questions. We've got books and diffusers and all kinds of fun stuff, and we should do our drawing. See who, because we have an emotions book up for the drawing.
Did everybody fill out a little sheet for the drawing?
Oh yeah, did everybody fill out a thing for the drawing there? Yeah. Let's see. Tina! Yay!
So fun.
So that's all I have for today. You guys, if you have questions, let me know. Thanks for joining.